Tina, how are you? Thank you for joining
Hello.
us. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
How are you today?
I'm all right. I'm sat under the hob.
It's a new backdrop.
It is a new backdrop.
I like it though. Looking good.
Yeah. I need to get the aftermath on the shelves, don't I?
You do. I was hoping to do because I'm hoping to get a nice podcasting background. This
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
really work for me, you know.
Oh, what
I've
you
got
thinking?
I don't know yet. Something neon and very
Yeah, I think neon's
garish.
definitely your theme.
Yeah,
I'm
really
a bit Meghan
flamboyant.
Markle, I hate to say it. I like the muted down whites, blacks, and creams.
Oh, Tina.
We're a bit boring.
I'm still in my flamboyant era, I'm afraid.
I don't think that's leaving you, Vic.
No, I'm crazy. Hi everybody in the side chat. Welcome to the show.
Hello.
Thank you for joining us. What's your week been like, Tina?
It's been just a normal week for a mere mortal who has to go to work and do what everyone else does, I suppose, and be a mom, be a wife, be a everything to everyone.
I know it's not
Try and
easy.
find time to do this as well.
I
That
know.
or YouTube.
Thank you for coming on. And
Oh, not
what do you
this. I mean,
Oh
YouTube is
no,
a
I know what you mean.
point.
I knew what you mean. I knew what you mean. So what's this? You don't know anything really about the Diddy case? Is that what you're
You know
telling
what?
me?
Right, my life got absorbed by Johnny Depp. Right, I
Yeah,
came talking. Then Harry and Meghan took over. Then Hugh Edwards. I ain't
I
got enough time to deal with all these dodgy weirdos that proclaim to be like the best thing since sliced bread.
Well, it's a lot to
Too
keep
many
up
of
with,
them.
isn't it?
It's
It's
a lot.
there's been a lot in the news recently about different types of people getting arrested, and even Al Fayed, he's not even here anymore, and he's in the news. Is there a documentary on that, the Al Fayed?
Yes, I watched it the
Right.
other night. It's
Mm.
an eye opener, to say the least.
And that shocks me slightly because I actually always kind of got a good vibe off of Al Fayed. I always sort of thought I felt sorry for him when everything happened. I mean, how did you feel after watching that? Did it change your opinion?
Well, actually, when you watch the documentary, as that happens, Vanity Fair are about to go for him and release all the evidence about him. Literally. And in that moment of that happening, he became untouchable. So it does make you think that, I don't
It's a
know.
weird it's weird because these men, if I don't understand why they would put their reputation in jeopardy when you could go and pay for women, for example. They don't necessarily need to do what they're doing, but it's almost a power trip for them. They get off of having that authority over these women, and it seems to be a running theme throughout a lot of powerful men
Yeah.
through Hollywood and through businessmen as well. Like Al Fayed, he wasn't necessarily famous, a celebrity, but he was the owner of Harrods, which was a big deal back in the day, and it still is.
Me and my husband were speaking about this whilst watching the documentary, and I sort of said it makes you think when you're at a point in your life where you can buy anything you want and you can achieve and take any stage you can, it's almost like it becomes the forbidden, doesn't it? And I don't know. It just seemed like there's nothing else to strive for in life. So they can and they're used to getting everything they want. So then they go down these dark routes by the looks of it. Not all, but a lot, as we can see,
Yeah,
He
yeah,
was literally, they were taking girls and he was picking.
unbelievable. But why has this all come out now? Because this annoys me when certain people like Savile and people that die, and
Yeah.
then all the information comes out about them afterwards. Why are they not pulled up on their behavior when they're alive, and then justice can be served. But it doesn't seem to work that way. It seems to be that they have an easy escape, and all the information comes out in death. Which
it's just the power that exude them. A lot of the security teams and everyone that worked in Harrods was sort of saying we all knew, but there was only CCTV footage of these girls entering his apartment and seeing them distraught coming out in. Because it was Fayed, he was untouchable, and there was never any proof, although there was an understanding.
But there was
and
never
every
any.
time. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say. Normally, you hear whispers about people, don't you? We all heard whispers about Savile, and there was kind of even Gary Glitter and many men like him. We always get an idea of what we know, and we'll all lead into the P Diddy stuff in a second. But we also knew about P Diddy as well. We had an inclination. We all kind of got snippets of what he was up to throughout his music career. And there was always whispers about his, sexuality, what he was doing in private. We never knew the extent of it, but you can kind of piece it together. Now, Fayed, I feel like it's just come from nowhere. I didn't have a clue this documentary was coming out. I had no idea about. There's nothing in the paper about him leaving a shady sort of lifestyle. So it's a shocker, this one.
But the thing is about Fayed, he wasn't a celebrity for being an actor or a singer, was he? He was just, he was a very well-known for having a famous shop in whatever else he did. I only know him for Harrods. It's not like he was Jimmy Savile and you could watch him and see what he was doing. It was all sort of hidden away because he wasn't a face that we see every day in our living room on our TVs, was he?
No.
I suppose he flew under the radar with that. But I see videos with him, with Diana and Harry and William, and you just think, oh God, between Savile in Fayed and all these ones just hanging around and getting such access to these young princes, that's alarming.
Well, this is my think on this and take on this. I think this has all been kept quiet for a reason. I think certain people knew about it, but because he has links to the royal family, do you think they waited for a time frame to do this? Because I think if the Queen was alive, this would have probably felt like it was tarnishing the royal family slightly because of the link with Diana. And I know it's kind of a bit far removed, and it could be a bit of a stretch of the imagination here, but that was very much the biggest story of the royal family for a long time. And it has to be diluted down quite a bit before these revelations come out. And to be honest with you, he's not on the forefront of my mind right now. The guy on the forefront of my mind is Diddy. So it's interesting how it's been released at the same time. While the Diddy scandal's going on, this Fayed stuff's coming out at just this time. It kind of dampens down the his behavior, because we're all looking at Diddy. I mean, I know I am.
Yeah.
Hello, kitty. Oh, he's lovely.
Definitely. And I thought Hugh Edwards as well. It's just funny how all of a sudden this is dropped. And they're very good at doing this, the media, and they just deflect direction another way,
And this is what I'm saying. It's kind of dampens the importance of what he's done, and we almost make comparisons with other people. How bad was this one and this one? Yeah. So if you're looking at in the big picture, I am comparing it stupidly to that of Diddy and going, well, my main focus is him at the moment because there's a lot. There's a lot more.
This lot you need to share with me, because do you know what? I know it's there. I know Diddy's there, but I suppose for me it's American, so it's not I'm not going to jump on that because I don't know where to start. I just know it's a lot and it's deep. I just don't know where to start. So you have got to enlighten me today and let me know what Diddy's been doing.
Well, we had a big old discussion about Diddy on what day was it? God, I'm terrible. Saturday night, and with Lady Letitia. And I've been following this for quite some time now, but today was a shocker. And I was going to wait with some more information on Wednesday, but I had to kind of jump on today and talk about the deleted tweets from Usher.
Okay.
So Usher is linked to Diddy. Do you know that? So Usher was taken under his wing at a young age, 13, and he went to go and live at Diddy Mansions, and he was there to experience the lifestyle. This was the concept behind him staying. Now, I have resurfaced videos of Usher talking about being at Diddy's house and seeing. A lot of people have seen these videos, but there's a bit of an extra clip whereby he talks about being there and he's not actually singing. So he's meant to be there rehearsing for his music career. And he's there for a week and all he's doing is partying with Diddy. Now, he even turned around to Diddy and said, you know, what am I doing? Why am I here? I'm not singing, but he was out partying, doing all different things and seeing certain behaviors that were unexpected and that he didn't understand. So, but Usher
didn't you do that with Justin Bieber as well, taken to his house?
Yes, he did. Okay. Yes. And he wasn't the only celebrity today that had his tweets deleted. So he's saying that he was hacked, right? Okay. But it wasn't just him. It was Pink and Megan Fox. Apparently, according to the news today, that their Twitter had been hacked and all their tweets from the past have been taken down. But this is all coincided with the timing of his arrest, Diddy's arrest, and there are multiple different names being thrown out there of who could be involved in the freak-offs, and potentially the videos that he has on these celebrities. And we've even got Ashton Kutcher in the mix. We've got Neo in the mix. I've also got a couple of videos of Neo in some compromising situations. We have Rihanna, Chris Brown, LeBron. There's quite a few rappers as well, which we spoke about on Saturday. Rick Ross, Meek Mill. The list is endless, basically. It goes on and on and on. But there is a resurfaced clip, and I wanted to share it with you guys just to see what you think about. Now there's a few, but this one here, this is so Usher is with, and let me see if I can get this up. You know what I'm like with technology. Okay, so this one is just an interview, and he's with Snoop as well. Can you see that? Is that come up?
Yeah.
Can you hear it? Okay. You can't hear it though, can you? Oh, that's annoying. Let me see if I can get the sound up. Oh no. Oh, maybe is that better? Oh, it's not playing. Oh, that's so sad. Right, can you read it though? Okay. So basically, the gist of this is that he is there in some sort of interview style thing with Martha Stewart and Snoop Dogg, and he's there and he's talking. He's basically calling out Usher for not seeing him anymore, right? So we believe, a lot of people believe that Usher was groomed by Diddy at a young age, but in the same way with Bieber, there's a lot of this going around. If you see a lot of resurfaced clips, there's a lot of awkwardness within these clips, and this one in particular is where he's saying he doesn't see him anymore, and Diddy believes in fellowship, and he is trying to skirt around why he hasn't seen him anymore. And then he realizes he's really drunk, but he actually only had 2 shots. And there's thoughts behind, we know Diddy was putting certain drugs towards people,
Wow.
spiking people. This is what he's being accused of. And you can see he's quite inebriated already in this video, but I can't get the sound, and that's really annoying. What I might do is put the link in the description box so you guys can watch it. But yeah, so it's very interesting what happened with him and Diddy is that they stayed friends, but there's been a removal of
a step back.
Yes, and it's very similar to that of Justin Bieber, because Justin Bieber also stopped contacting him, and there's another clip with Diddy saying the same thing to Justin Bieber, saying, "Why have you not contacted me?" And if I can find the clip I was talking about,
you know what, though, it just speaks that as well. The fact he's pulling that to them on camera, it speaks to the control he believes he has, and that he's not scared to proposition them, and try and belittle them in a kind of way. That's what I take from that. There's no, it's all about him in how, it's hidden in plain sight, and that's what they do, isn't it?
Exactly, but he got bolder and bolder with his behavior, because he would almost in his interviews and things he was doing, and the filming he was doing, he would almost out himself when he was talking. So he mentioned in one particular clip with Justin Bieber, "What are we doing this weekend? I can't really tell you what we're doing this weekend." But the boy is staying at his house and he's 13. Why is he staying at his house for the weekends? And yeah, go on, carry on.
I'm still got to question the parents. I know they want their children to go and be megastars. I know that it seems like, but it's still your 13-year-old child, Exactly. It's still your child. And it just gives me sort of moments of Michael Jackson and Neverland, and how these parents were letting them sleep in his bedroom. And it's like that moment of delusion almost in even the parents are falling for this celebrity hype. So if that child's parents can't ground themselves in this moment.
Well, I think Diddy's a very good manipulator. I think he knew what he was. He's very much in control. He's in control of every situation he's been in, and that's run its course, because I think there are powers at B that have come down on him for different reasons. I think he would have continued to get away with what he was doing if he hadn't rubbed certain people up the wrong way, and we will get to that, because
isn't that dark though? Isn't that dark? The fact that they've come for him probably for a completely different reason, when the reason why they should have brought him down and stopped him doing this was this said reason we're talking about.
It's because they're all embroiled in it together, and I think it's so corrupted. The whole of Hollywood needs to be deconstructed and rebuilt again.
Yeah,
because
and the thing is, when you were growing up, Vic, Hollywood to me was like the red curtains, the red carpet, and it was glamorous. It's seedy, it's dirty, and no one wants to even be that anymore.
No, exactly. And this is it's always been. I mean, even with Elvis, he was with Priscilla when she was 14. He married her, and a lot of this is just kind of acceptable, because if the men that are in power are that way inclined, they're going to run with that narrative and live that lifestyle, and everyone else is going to. It's almost like sheep flocking to this ideology that this behavior is normal. Because if you see the freak off parties, that every celebrity was there, and the way that he is with the men there, because that Orlando dude says, "Don't worry about taking your girl to the party, just worry about you going as a man, because if it's new booty, he's gonna want it." So everybody had a price. So I believe the majority of these guys were not gay. I think that they were probably persuaded with money and with power and with opportunity. And it's almost a
Opportunity.
trade-off, isn't it?
Mhm.
So you're there, and like Cat Williams, he was offered money like 50 million or something like that, and he turned it down because he wanted to keep his integrity. But if the
Mhm.
guy didn't have any money or any opportunity,
And he's
is that,
desperate and come to Hollywood for celebrity fame.
some people will think, well, why not? You know,
It's
and if
almost like, oh, sorry.
if Diddy is offering a lifestyle and a leg up, then maybe people would think, okay, well, I'll do it. I'll do
Mhm.
it. If it's a one off, I'll do it. But it will end up emotionally scarring you for the rest of your life. You don't realize what you're trading.
Mhm.
You're trading your whole being and who you
Yeah.
are.
Yeah.
And is it worth it? And yeah, there was like thousands of bottles of baby oil there as well, like that when they raided the house. And they
Wow.
have all the VHS tapes of every politician, celebrities, even I think they're even mentioning royalty as well.
Yeah.
But I've also got a video. Let me see. There probably won't be any sound on this, guys, but
It's
you can
almost like a
sort of.
role reversal of the sexes, like the Weinstein, isn't it?
Mm.
But towards men rather than the women.
Yes. Oh, yes,
Yeah.
100%. I mean, it does go on. The thing is, it just doesn't get spoken about as much. I mean, even in the
Mhm.
gay community, this happens a lot where young boys are preyed upon, and they are drugged and they are used on dating apps. I mean, there's a whole thing, there's a whole circuit out there that it revolves around this. And this is something I wanted to touch on at a later date because there's a voice that isn't being heard, and there is vulnerable men being preyed upon, and because it's, I suppose there's uh maybe attachment of being taboo around it, or shame. Not that I believe that, but some men may feel that way, and so they're
Mhm.
not speaking out.
Yeah.
um let's just show you this video. I think most people have seen it, but Tina, you can watch it as well. This video here is Justin at a Diddy party. Now, you can't hear it because the sound's not working, but he looks really inebriated in this video, and he's being basically paraded around. So if you watch any videos with Justin and Diddy,
They
he's
are
in
uncomfortable.
they're uncomfortable, but he's controlling the situation,
Mhm.
and it always feels like Diddy's sober, and
Yeah.
everybody else is kind of a bit sway
Mhm.
sway. And then there is an even more horrific video here, which I'll share. And I think we all know what this is. Um, hold on. Stop. Okay, so I'm so slow, aren't I?
Just like that. When he says it. Oh, do you know what? It's really, really sad though, isn't it? And I've seen videos of Bieber after where James Corden, they're asking him really inappropriate questions, where actually someone who hasn't been through maybe an alleged traumatic situation like this would just take it on the chin. But Justin Bieber gets really reactive to it and like, I'm not a piece of meat. And it speaks to some in there
Yeah,
that possibly
no.
could have happened to Bieber.
Yes, 100%. This video here, I won't show it all because it's quite bad. This is where he's partying and he gets down on his knee. He's down on his knees, and it comes up. He comes up. Have you seen that video, Tina?
No.
So it looks like he's given fellatio to one of the. I think is it, who was it again? It was one. It was either a basketball player or a rapper. I'm not entirely sure the name, but yes. So he comes up, and it looks like he's coming up from being down on his knees. Now, other people are speculating that it could be a drug taking, maybe, but he comes up and wipes his mouth. Now, he's just a kid. But if I play that, I don't know if that's not good, maybe not a good idea to play that one. But it's pretty shocking.
Well, if it's just suggestive, though, I'm guessing there's not
It's
actual. It's suggestive video, so you can see that and
well,
guess.
they look like they've been caught.
Yeah,
Because they've been caught doing something. But then there is the rumor circulating that he was caught with an 18-year-old pop sensation who is a household name. So let's try and work out who that is, because this is all going to come up in the case.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of evidence leading towards it being Justin, and there is a lot of evidence leading towards the fact that Usher was groomed, and that Justin Bieber was as well. So whether or not they're going to ever come out and speak about it is a different story, because can they? Is there bigger powers at play stopping them from speaking? Are they silent?
I think the biggest power at play as well is their own careers as well. You know, not that it should be the case, but I should imagine for anyone speaking out, well, we know for anyone speaking out is hard enough. But they're going to have, and they know the media, so they'll be a victim initially, but then their headlines will work against them just like it does. So there's probably that fear as well, and not maybe so much. There probably is powers that be around them, protecting him and silencing them. But even if they wanted to step out, I should imagine their own insecurities, their own shame, their own projection of their own careers. You know, Bieber's just had a baby, hasn't he, with Hailey Baldwin? So that's your child who's going to know that. It takes a lot to come out and share your truth if you've been through something like that anyway, and to even accept that you've been groomed or that's even happened. But to take it to that level when you're a celebrity and it's going to be worldwide news on every channel across the globe, that's an exposed that.
Well, I mean, he even says nobody protected me in the industry when I was younger, and he wished that somebody took him under his wing and showed him the right path. And this is why he got, he was addicted to drugs, and he did have quite a bad spell where he was lashing out, and this all kind of makes sense. The behavior behind him, if that was the case, and Diddy seems to be a predator. I mean, there is no mistaking that. The way he treated Cassie in the lift, what he did to Kim Porter, and thank you, it was Adele Beckham. I can't remember everyone's name, but yeah, it was Adele Beckham. Yeah, he was the one that was with Justin. And we're finding out that a lot of these Hollywood stars go both ways. I mean, they're very promiscuous, and they don't. It's almost like a Greek or like a Roman bloody bath. They're living in Sodom and Gomorrah.
It's hard. Is it easy? It's like, it's boredom, isn't it? Because what do you do when you've achieved all that you can and you get worldwide fame? What next?
I mean, they had beds in the parties, so there's like apparently it's a 50-foot bed in one of Diddy's parties. He had a massive bed inside and outside, and there was beds in basketball courts. It's like everywhere you go, it's a bit like Quagmire from Family Guy. You just push a button and the bed falls down.
Wow.
Yeah, and there's a lot going on. And with these
powers gone wrong.
Yeah, with these tapes, he had the advantage of having footage on these people that he could use against them and get leverage with. And this is where he's been able to get away with what he's been getting away with for such a long time, because he had a lot of people in his pocket. It's a bit like he's like a mafia sex boss. That's what you could kind of describe him as. So it's interesting to see why this is all kind of falling apart now. And there is a lot of links to Jay-Z. Now, this whispers are going around that Jay-Z is kind of setting up P. Diddy because there are bigger things at play. He's almost being used as an scapegoat at this point, because there are other things a lot more untowards going on.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
This is just the first layer of the onion.
Yes, this is the first layer of the
What is the
onion.
core?
It gets really sticky and really nasty, to be honest with you. And I'm going to have to be very careful because I've got all this information and I don't want to dribble it all out at once because it has to kind of come out at the same time as well, you know? And I know it's coming out this week. It's definitely
Oh
coming out
my
this week.
God.
Yeah. But let's just pin that, guys. Jay-Z's involved, okay? He's involved. Now, the
Yeah,
CEOs...
someone big has got to be involved to bring down P. Diddy, haven't they?
Well, listen to this, Tina. Listen to this. This is crazy. So the CEOs are all stepping down, funnily enough, just after everybody's Twitter feed seems to be getting hacked as well. Interesting. I mean, you know, they really think we're stupid, don't they? Kevin Lyles of 300 Entertainment on September the 18th, apart from and there's a few Warner Music people that have stepped down in Japan. One thing that has been in common in these cases that the CEOs shared a statement from their side or through someone else, and the leading to their exit from the companies. However, in some situations, these particular personalities continue to remain associated with the company but play a different role. Now, guess how many CEOs have stepped down? Did I tell you
5.
already? It was 3. No, it's like 250 so far of different places, of different music establishments. But they're stepping down. They're still with it. They're still involved. But these are all linked to the industry, guys. This is crazy. So, what involvement do these people have? I mean, you can't make this shit up. You really can't. Yeah.
Wow.
So everybody's now running for the hills. And have you noticed all the celebrities have stayed quiet? Nobody's gone and gone on Twitter and gone or whatever they go on Instagram. I condemn P. Diddy for his behaviour, because a lot of celebrities will disassociate themselves with the other one, and they do that quite quickly. I see it all a lot. As soon as something bad happens with somebody else, they unfollow them. See you later. I'm gone. We're not friends anymore.
That's it. They're not stupid enough to be dragged in either way. They stay neutral. They just pretend that those celebrities don't exist, and they just they've got too much to lose to engage whatsoever. But obviously with that many CEOs, that does speak to a very gigantic core, because that many CEOs would not be stepping down based off.
This is information that I've been fed now. This could all not be, it could be slightly exaggerated, but we know that things are crumbling around us, because why are people suddenly leaving? It's such interesting timing that everybody's starting to disappear and move away from the industry and take a step back. And being quiet as well, guys, speaks volumes. If you either stand with someone or you don't. And at the end of the day, if you've got children, and a lot of these stars do, and he has been reported to have been abusing young boys, then by God, are you not going to come out and
use
just
your
say
platform?
Yes. Especially if you've been seen dancing with that man, or you've been in a picture with that man. I would feel sickened in my heart that I would have been around such a perverted, nasty human being, and you're not coming out and you're not saying, look, I had no idea, because some of them will not have known. I mean, there would have been whispers in Hollywood, but some of them wouldn't have known the full truth. They couldn't have all known. If they did, then but there is a list of people that were fully involved.
And also, it's about cleaning up your own industry and how bad this looks on your industry that you rely your career on as well. Not to mention the moral impact that if you've got children and that's happening, you should use your platform to try and get that crap away from it, you know? But I've always said this, even with, I refer back to Harry and Meghan or Johnny Depp, Amber Heard. You have all these celebrities jump on this cause in yay for Amber Heard and stuff. But as soon as it started to turn and tilt her, they all just fled like
Yeah,
rats off the ship.
yeah.
Because, and that's why the real people's voices and YouTubers, they've got nothing to lose or gain, where the celebrities will just jump on it and speak out on it if it suits, their cause. It's not for the actual cause.
But Tina, if you've been seen with these, if you are continuously at a Diddy party, now
Yeah.
let's not get it twisted. He has a lot of Diddy parties. Mary J. Blige is a frequent flyer. She goes there, and I've seen her tweaking. So I know she likes a little bit of, whatever. They probably all do. That's fine. Have your fun, whatever. But when innocent people are involved and there's prostitution, illegal prostitution being, people being trafficked into the house and being used and being drugged, then we've got a whole different situation here. It's not no longer, it's not a party anymore. It's a criminal war zone. It's disgusting. These young kids are going there thinking they're going to go and have a nice time, and they come out and they are scarred for life.
Yeah.
And this has been something that's been happening at a Diddy party for years and years and years. I mean, you've got even Chris Brown. You've got all these celebrities that go back and go back and go back. Now you can't then hear all what's happened, and you've been pictured there, you've been filmed there, and you say nothing. You can't do that.
No.
I mean, obviously they are. Yeah, Fergie was with Diddy on his yacht with her daughters. Yes, as well. The royals have got lots of links there, and I think they're all worried about the outcome of this because they don't know the extent of Diddy's portfolio, how far back his evidence goes. He has enough footage on everybody, and that's
Well,
maybe.
I suppose you've got the ones that are attending these parties just because it's P. Diddy's party and they want to be in the affluent and the elite who probably maybe don't know to the extremes of what's going on. So they're now going, oh my God, this don't look good on me.
No.
And you've got the ones who are full on involved in this. My bloody cat. And they're really craking in their boots, and they're not going to come out and say nothing, are they? Because they know what's going on. It's crazy. It blows your mind, doesn't it?
And there's so it gets to another.
Go on then.
It's just so much. It's scary, right? It is scary because there seems to be a running theme with certain people that they never get their hands dirty, but they have some very what's the word I'm looking for? They have certain type of friends that keep disappearing, going to prison or getting caught up in and embroiled in certain activities, and
like
nothing
Fall
happens.
Guys.
Like Fall Guys, yeah. And we've got, say for example, we've got Drake. Drake is another person who has been linked to paedophilia as well. I mean, there's a song about him at the moment. That was quite a good song, Kendrick Lamar, talking about him and his crew, his OVO crew. They also have relations with young children. Not quite. They're not legal, basically. Young girls. And then we've got Ashton Kutcher, guys. He's linked, and we've got another one. Jamie Foxx.
Jamie Foxx?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And doing some unspeakable things where he gets people to take their clothes off in a basketball court and do lewd acts on each other. And while he's playing the piano, apparently he gets fellatio under the piano. All allegedly, guys. But this is what I'm hearing today. It's crazy. There's so much more though. There is so much more.
It's
Um,
just on another level, just the grandiose and perverted world that they live in. It's almost like I said, the forbidden. It's mental, isn't it? The fact that people are just carrying on that way, like it's normal.
yeah, well, I mean, I suppose you get desensitized to. I'm looking at it objectively, and I shouldn't be because but I'm trying to see it from a different standpoint. I suppose if you're wrapped up in this world, you are desensitized to it, and it becomes quite normal to see these kind of weird things happening around you. Because, I mean, I suppose if you're into the swinging life, that would be normal for you. If you're a swinger, you're going to go and see you do different things and participate in different things. But I think if it's forced upon you, then it's a different story. If everybody is consensual, then it's whatever floats your boat, isn't it? But when it's happening and there is other evil things at play, then we're starting to look at this in a really creepy, nasty light. Someone's put herd trait like some dogs. Oh,
You know what? I was thinking that Sheila Kelly, Ashton Kutcher, I remember this, stood up for his convicted co-star. I can't think of his name right now. I remember Ashton and his wife, Mila Kunis, they sort of stood by, even though he'd been convicted of some heinous crime. And it was a bit like, oh, what are you doing? You know?
Yeah, because mud sticks, doesn't it? And I always say this, you lie with dogs, you get fleas. That is you associate yourself with the type of people you want to be around. Normally, your friends hold the same core values as you, or you'd like to think so anyway.
Well, that's what you do, isn't it? You surround yourself with people like you, in essence, who have the same values and moral compass as you. So, but the thing is, I suppose when these elite get into these groups where only the elite are in, you just lay in with the same kind of personalities who's got it all. You don't need to. Ugh, it's just gross, isn't it? It really is disgusting.
Kim Porter has a book coming out. So what happened is she was writing this book, mysteriously died. Kim Porter, by the way, is P Diddy's ex, mother of his children, some of his children, and she died of pneumonia. Now, funnily enough, all of Uptown Records had mysterious deaths too. The other owners is all linked to suspicious death. Now, two of them actually died of pneumonia, and her being one of them. Now, in Kim Porter's case, she before she died, she was writing a memoir, and that obviously never came to light. Now, her friend has got the book and it will be published. However, it is only 60 pages long, so there has been pieces of that book taken out, probably quite damning evidence taken out. But all of them were writing memoirs, Tina, and they disappeared. Now, listen to this. This gets even funnier and a bit weirder. So Kim Porter died, and there is a picture of Corey Gamble outside of where she was being. So when she was getting picked up to be taken to the morgue, there was a picture of Corey Gamble outside. Why is he there? Why is Corey Gamble at the scene of Kim Porter's death?
That's great. This is what I mean. There's so many layers to it. This is why I've avoided it, because it's a lot.
It is a hell of a lot, and you have to keep up with everything, and you have to start linking it all together. And the history, if you go all the way back with Diddy, there is so many different things that don't add up. We've got the Tupac Biggie dilemma. That, I mean, there's even rumors, guys, and I'm going completely off tangent here. And this is quite controversial, and I don't know. I find this one hard to believe, but that Tupac and P Diddy had a relationship, and that he they fell out, and it wasn't long after that Tupac died. Now, whether that's true or not, we don't know. That was a
Wow.
long time ago. But we do know that when Biggie died, Diddy got the rights to all the music, so he was taking all the revenue for that. He's always had the money coming in from Biggie's music.
Wow.
But they both died. They both got shot. And there's even a surface clip where where Pac speaks about Diddy shooting him and saying that he knows it was him. It was an attempted shooting on him, and he said he knew it was him.
Wow.
All of this needs to be resurfaced and reinvestigated, because if we are looking at the bigger picture, there seems to be a lot of people mysteriously disappearing around.
Yeah, there's
Diddy.
a lot of links, definitely. You know, if you were looking at this not even as a detective, you can pretty much connect a lot of stuff that potentially, Jesus.
Yeah, it's a lot, isn't it? You're going to go on the internet later and have a good
Yeah.
look at this, aren't you?
Absolutely. Oh, it's
I mean,
scary though, isn't it?
what do you think about the tweets that have been deleted? Do you think that was an accidental?
No. How? What? So whose tweets have been deleted again? Two lots, Pink and
well, we've got Pink,
Usher.
we've
Are
got
they fake?
Usher, and maybe Megan Fox, but that's an iffy article. I'm not too sure about that one.
So all their accounts have been hacked simultaneously. Like, yeah, nah, it seems sus. It stinks, doesn't it?
It does, and it makes you wonder why and what they've been advised, because I do remember Kim Kardashian unfollowed Diddy the day before the raid, so she knew about the raid that was going to happen the day before. And I wonder how she knew about that, guys.
Who was there at Kim Porter's? It's like Corey Gamble, did you say?
Exactly. And
yeah.
We all have heard through the rumor mill, Corey Gamble is a handler and he works for the government.
Wow.
So, are they the puppets that are being managed by a bigger force? I do believe so. I do believe a lot of celebrities are put there in their plants and they're there to feed a certain agenda. That's what they're there for. Hip hop was always there to feed an agenda. It was there to ramp up the violence as well, I think, in America, and they wanted to continue a divide. And that's the music was created out of.
Wow.
It's a bit like when crack was introduced to America. It was created by the CIA. We all know that, and it destroys communities.
They want people to be divided. They want division. They don't want people to get along. We know that,
Yeah.
And there's a lot of puppets, isn't there? On all levels,
Yeah.
It's just the higher the levels they get, the more seedy and the less value. I suppose you're further away from the floor, aren't you? It gets more seedy to the point where you sat there playing piano or someone's doing that and you've got loads of naked people around you in a gym. Like, what?
It's crazy. And it's a different lifestyle. It is a different lifestyle. But I think if it's all consensual, then fine. But when what Diddy's being charged with it's all forced. So I'll get the list of charges up again. Yeah, I don't want to just say the charges and get them wrong. I did have them. List of Diddy's charges, because we're gonna just get this correct. So there's a new list come out. Oh my goodness me.
I bet every day it's something new.
Yeah. So let's go from the top. He faces the biggest fight of his life. The Department of Homeland Security then executed an arrest warrant against Diddy in the Manhattan borough of New York, and transported him to federal jail for processing in Lower Manhattan. So it's 3 charges of Racketeering, conspiracy, sex trafficking by force, fraud, coercion, and transportation to engage in prostitution. That's just the top part. That's just the top part. So they
Wow.
also found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil and lubricants and three AR-15 assault rifles during the raids at his mansions in Los Angeles and Miami and his luxurious apartment in New York. What could you be doing with 1,000 bottles of baby oil?
That's a lot of baby.
That's a lot of baby oil. So, according to the Fed's report, Diddy allegedly administered violence and can't speak degradation against the sex workers to coerce them to participate in the freak-offs. During the parties, most often hosted at hotels, Diddy allegedly hit, kicked, and threw objects and dragged victims at times by their hair. The indictment reads Combs subjected victims to physical, emotional, and verbal abuse to cause the victims to engage in freak-offs. They did not do it willingly, guys. They didn't do it willingly. The celebrities might have done it willingly, but they might have been paid. So it's a bit of a trade off there, or they might have been promised certain things. But these vulnerable people that were nothing to do with the industry were forced into it, and they were violently forced into it. Coombs maintained control over his victims through physical violence, promises of career opportunities, granting and threatening to withhold financial support, coercive means, including tracking their whereabouts, dictating the victim's appearance, monitoring their medical records, controlling their housing, and supplying them with controlled substances, including cocaine, Xanax, and date rape, MDMA, and ketamine. I mean,
Wow.
what a guy.
The medical records, though, because that's got a glimmer of Fayed. He had these girls get seen by his own personal doctors to check them out to make sure they wasn't. And then he had control of all their medical records. And it's so, when they've got that much money and that much power, it just gets, it's another layer altogether of control. And you say about these people that weren't a part of the celebrity world, if they've got these interviews with Usher where he's laying on the pressure, sort of saying, why are you not in contact no more, and doing that and almost putting him under the spotlight as, can you imagine what the people down here, in his view, the levels of control he's going to use on them and manipulation?
He's literally he's a force to be reckoned with, really, isn't he? I mean, he has no conscience whatsoever. I mean,
what
fellowship
does he have?
Well, there's none whatsoever. The power has gone completely way beyond any form of control. In his head, he is God. I think he feels like he can do what he pleases when he wants to do it. Diddy's violent handling of sex workers often resulted in injuries that took days or weeks to heal. So when everyone left the party, Diddy allegedly had a team that would orchestrate the cleanup of the hotel rooms. And most telling is a report that Diddy's people allegedly had to order IV fluids for some of the sex workers. They would also secure large stacks of cash to pay off the sex workers and then arrange transportation back to their homes and cities. I mean,
it's like we say that in like IV fluids, and it's all. But if you're physically that drained, you only know the mental impact that would have on a person for the rest of their life. Yet you've got all these celebrities turning up at these parties, almost validating this behavior. Wow.
And this has been going on for over a decade, probably longer, but we can definitely say a decade. Definitely say a decade. This has been happening
the amount of victims.
There is an onslaught of victims. It's going to be probably the biggest shake-up of Hollywood, I think. what is going to come out in the next couple of weeks, I truly believe Hollywood should be taken away and they start it all again. Everybody needs to come out of their jobs. Everybody.
Is there any mention of Kanye West?
No.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? In the way Kanye sort of come out in sort of, not saying that it's wrong.
I actually, yeah.
I'm saying the opposite. Was he made this crazy bipolar, or was he just speaking truth? And it was easy to label him as this crazy man when actually he was saying this what that is. It's not good.
Kanye, I've actually always liked Kanye. I know he comes across as quite an arrogant person sometimes, but I actually think he tells a lot of truth. He's no filter. He's actually just a genuine person. He doesn't put on a facade like a lot of other people do. And I like how blunt he is, and I like his way of thinking. I think it's really different and it's innovative, right?
Outside the box.
Yeah, he's way beyond his years and he's way beyond his time. So when he speaks about Diddy, he actually tries to he actually has there's text messages back and forth between them two, and he says to Diddy, anything that you write to me, I'm going to expose. So he said, whatever you text me, I'm going to expose it. And Diddy just wrote back, oh no, well, we'll talk when we meet up. So he went writing nothing.
Like transparent, you know?
Yeah.
But it'd just be interesting to see, because for years we've had Kanye's this massive risk, this crazy bipolar. You got the Kardashians in the midst, and let's be honest with you, none of the men in their life sort of come out of it any. I just feel like maybe it was just easier to cast him as this crazy bipolar mental person, which they have done to make people question anything he says or speaks. I don't know. I'm just
I believe you completely. That is true. I do think anyone that speaks out and goes up against the general population or goes up against the powers that be, they will be deemed as crazy. They are. Jaguar Wright was deemed as crazy. Is it Orlando? I can't remember his last name. That young dude that was with him, he was deemed as crazy. You've got people.
This is what they do.
Yeah, and Kanye also called out Corey a long time ago, and he was already sniffed the wrong one out from the get-go, and he was good at picking out characters and knowing what they were about. He had a good sense of intuition about people. So I always think Kanye probably doesn't go around about things the right way sometimes, and maybe doesn't articulate himself in the correct way when it comes to getting his point across. But there's always been truth in what he said. There's a lot of truth in what he says.
Sometimes people struggle with the truth as well.
Yeah.
So when someone's out there, and it's so rare nowadays that someone speaks the truth, it's not always taken in, because we are blasted with so many lies and softly, gently approach nowadays. When someone's speaking outright, you know, like you said, he's not great. He's got no filter. But when someone gives you hard-hitting truth, it's hard to receive, because it sits out against all the barrage of lies we're fed.
Oh, Teresa's messaged here. I missed the bullet. Yeah. So what if you could email me your story, Teresa? My email's on the links on the YouTube, because I'd love to hear it. I know you being offered a job with him would have been wild, right? You would have seen it quite a lot. Jaguar Wright and Cat Williams. Again, Cat Williams was shut down. His whole career was pretty much in dead, because when he was speaking out about the industry, people didn't like it. So he lost his opportunities.
You're out.
Yeah.
And that's why no one speaks out, you know?
No. Yeah, it's because they're afraid. And you've got people like 50 Cent who does it in a joking way, and so he's been able to. And you've got like Eminem, 50 Cent, Dr. Dre. They've all stayed away from these parties. They don't participate. And 50 Cent even said, "Oh, he tried to take me out shopping once. He said he'll pay for it," and he just went, "That's a bit weird. Like, why would you? I've got my own money." But it's like, I'm not your bitch. Like, you're not paying for me And then what do I owe you when you buy me like £1,000 Louis bag or whatever, how much they cost? Like,
Yeah,
does that
yeah.
mean that I owe you something now? So he was trying to buy people, or he tries to buy every celebrity, and everyone has a price. And a lot of these celebrities are taking the offers and going, well, you know what, that's a lot of money, you know.
Nothing in life comes for free. And
No.
sadly, people, the aftermath, you have to learn the hard way that. But I suppose these vulnerable people want to be starlets and come into this world, and you got P. Diddy offering you a Louis Vuitton bag. You're like, oh my God, But anyone who's like lived a life will understand that nothing in life is free. And there's always anyone to be offering that will want a payback, will want to come back. They will want to own you.
Yes, and that's what he got off on. I don't think he actually was ever attracted to any of these people. It was the power play. The
Yeah.
power play is what got this guy off, because he thought, if I want to buy all of you. That was his intention. He got off on buying big celebrities,
Yeah.
because for him everybody had a price, and then and the majority of them did, and the ones that said no, look what happened to them.
Yeah.
He doesn't like being told no. That's another
That's what
thing.
I found weird about the Al Fayed documentary. Firstly, he was obsessed with the royal family, which I didn't know. And he had brought the old residence of Edward, the one who stepped down from the throne, and Wallace's old mansion in France, because he was obsessed. But what I found weird was that he was going into these women's rooms. He was inviting them there to work, and he was like accosting them, getting them all up. They were kicking and fighting him off. But then he'd leave the room. It was almost like he wanted the battle in the fight and the to be rejected. Like sometimes he would go all the way, but a lot of the time it just seemed like more of a game, a bit like P. Diddy, it's they're trying to fill a need or an urge, and it's not it's weird, isn't it? It's weird, it's sordid, dirty.
It's sorted, and he did it with everybody. It wasn't just men. It wasn't young boys. Even his sons were involved, and I suppose they were kind of it was normalized around the kids. So his kids just sort of looked at their dads and probably thought, well, this is just how I treat people.
Sadly, that is unless you can break that cycle. If you grow up knowing that, that's
We've got Wendy Williams as well. Wendy Williams was got very sick after speaking out over Diddy, because she shared a clip of him with an intimate clip with him as with a man, and then she got sick and she was cancelled again. Another person that was cancelled. But don't worry, Diddy, you're not going to be able to poison me because you don't know where I am. You're locked away now.
what, though, isn't
I can
it?
say what I want.
Like, this is the thing. These people that move in these circles, if they were to stumble upon us today speaking this, they'd look down their nose so hard at us. And the thing is with us, we have got a moral compass and some boundaries, and they would look down on us. And it's like, no, we look down on you. We are more richer than you based off our beliefs in how we
Exactly.
hold ourselves and how we treat another.
Exactly. You're completely right. You're completely right. This is you have to live with yourself every day, and how you treat other people is a real good standing point of who you are. And I do think there's obviously something wrong with Diddy, because to be that vulgar and that far and go that far, he's probably got a sociopath. He's probably a sociopath. We've got to put it out there. Possibly even worse. We just don't know yet. But it is all going to come to light. I've got more information on Wednesday. We're going to wrap it all up now, but I had to come on about the tweets today because it's all leading to the Wednesday. It's great. I'm glad it's all coming out. I'm so glad it's all coming out. I've been waiting for this.
You have, haven't you? You've always had your little side dish of P. Diddy.
Yeah.
And,
He bothers me so much. He really does. He really does.
No,
But yeah, so what were you saying?
Do you know what? The more and more Hollywood opens up, the more you just like, ew, no. It's gross.
Yeah.
We don't want to watch Cribs anymore and see what's in your fridge. We don't.
God knows.
Yeah,
God
what's
knows.
in your fridge?
Thank you so much for joining me tonight, Tina. It's been great. And yeah, it's more to come on Wednesday.
Yeah.
And guys, are you enjoying it in the side chat? Are you enjoying hearing about all this information? Because it's not enjoying it, but are you following it? Because it's interesting to know if you guys are interested in it as well. Because I'll keep going with it if you want me to.
Yeah, no, definitely keep going with it. Like I've learned loads tonight, and you know what? There's that much placed out there. It's a lot. So to have it all condensed by you, which you're passionate about, I think it's an easy to take in and understand the situation, which is so vast, and that's going to grow, no doubt. So yeah, thanks.
It's gonna get wild.
Educated me on the filth that is Hollywood tonight.
I know.
They're everywhere.
This is the thing, they are everywhere, and I'm just glad it's all coming out now, because I finally can get what I want to say out, which is because you can't, when people aren't being arrested, you just can't do it, and you haven't got all the facts, but it's all coming, which is good.
Look at this.
I'm glad.
Can't wait till Wednesday. It's like Christmas is looming.
Right, I love you lots. I'll speak to you guys soon. Thanks for joining us. Bye. Bye.